Hey guys, Bones here, and since Ornn is slated for release on live servers tomorrow, most likely anyway, I figured I would relate my experiences and sort of general thoughts on the character to you guys. Keep in mind this is all my opinion, but now, before we kind of get into any sort of details, let me preface the whole thing by saying, in terms of general balance and how good he is or viability or, all that kind of stuff, I think he's all right. If that's your primary concern there, he functions like a tank, a pseudo initiator kind of counter initiation peeling tank kind of guy, which is fine and all. I recognize those have a place in League of Legends. I just don't personally like them very much because they're not very good at hard carrying, incredibly incompetent teammates. Because, at the end of the day, I've gone through this spiel many, many times, but at the end of the day, the only thing that really hard carries teams is damage. But that's a totally separate topic. Let's not get into that one. Now, my actual concern with the character is I actually find him really boring. I feel his kit is actually very uninteresting and uninspired, which is a bit unfortunate because the Urgot rework that we just played, or rather we just got the previous patch. I thought that was fairly neat, insofar as like League of Legends uniqueness goes. I thought Urgot was pretty interesting. Even Kane, who actually didn't like playing very much, I thought there was actually at least some unique-ish and interesting things going on with him. Ornn, on the other hand, just feels like kind of, I don't know, alternate Malphite or, something along those lines. Except, maybe made more modern, like most League of Legends things have become, where it's just sort of like their kit involves comboing something. So yeah, some sort of combo type thing plus some sort of unique gimmick that makes that character, which in this character's case is the whole smithing mechanic. However, again, just playing the character, it just, I don't know, it's really uninteresting, personally, I found. Now, I don't know, I'm not saying it's going to be boring to absolutely everyone. Maybe this is your dream champion. I don't know, I'm not saying, you're weird and you should go kill yourself or something. Like, everyone's got their personal tastes. I just don't personally find there's very much going on with this guy. Except for his passive-ish thing, which is neat conceptually, but really all, how they've implemented it, all it really boils down to is I don't have to back very often gimmick. And also, I guess, for your teammates and for yourself. I can pile on slightly more stats on a max build by spending 1,000 extra gold. There's no unique mechanics and stuff like that, which I can see why they didn't want to, mess around with, unique items and unique effects and stuff like that, because that makes balancing really difficult. But I feel like something more interesting could have been done there. Now, if I want to go into the territory of wild speculation, I get the impression, again, this is purely my guess, it's probably not correct, but I don't know, I just get this feeling that probably at some point in development, they really kind of, at least the idea may have been there, that they really want to hammer home the blacksmithing idea, and just kind of really go overboard with that and make it really central to the kit, which I think could have been quite interesting. But the design team does this and they come up with something interesting, or they propose something interesting, and then I don't know, Riot's department of creative thought and unique idea suppression, or something like that, or marketing or something comes in and is like, nah, no, that's too difficult to balance. It's not going to work for the pro players. Why don't we just tone this down a bit? Let's make him a little bit more like Malphite. And, you know what? People don't like backing very often. Let's turn his passive into a thing where people don't have to back. Eh? And then, the designer, the lead designer for this character or whatever hangs himself in the bathroom. But anyway, I just sort of feel like this character could have been a lot more interesting, but again, regardless of viability, blah blah blah, which this video isn't nearly as much about. I feel it's very disappointing that this character is just so, in terms of his raw kit and fighting and doing stuff like that, which you're doing most of the time, is just really boring. And once again, I'm saying it's not necessarily going to be the case for everyone. I just feel like that's probably actually going to be the case for a lot of people, because aside from just having sort of the more ponderous tank playstyle, it's not even necessarily the most interesting example of it. So, anyway, those are just some of my thoughts on the character. So your mileage may vary, as I keep insisting. Try it out if you want. Maybe you'll like it, but I'm just personally rather disappointed. Uh, especially coming off of Urgot, who I liked, and again, even Kane, who I didn't like, but I understand there were some interesting things to his kit that I didn't actually mind playing too much. Just to sort of emphasize that point, I played this character like 2 days on the PBE. Normally, I spend like sometimes up to a week on the PBE, just hammering away on the character, trying to figure out everything that's going on with them, all that stuff. You might have noticed there were very few videos actually on this character for those of you who pay attention to this channel. But yeah, I was done in 2 days. I have felt no desire to go back to play him at all. All right, anyway, that's it from me, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you around. As always, if you happen to catch videos right as I upload them, I'm probably streaming or something. Incidentally, today is PBE day. Also, if you happen to catch this video right as I'm uploading it, as far as I can tell, again, I also suspect that this PBE patch is not going to be very large. There have been 3 really large ones in a row. Probably right. Wants to take a holiday for a bit or something. But anyway, I'm off. Actually, goodbye.